folks, welcome the heck in. If you don't already know me, my name is Emma and I have Tourette Syndrome. Today, my fiance Tyler is out at a melee tournament and we're alone today. We're doing the alone things, we're alone. So I figured we'd talk about that a little bit this week and how being alone can affect my Tourette syndrome and other people's Tourette syndrome and just tics in general. What that's like, what the whole shebang is, what is up with it. Let's get the freak into it. I'm about to walk over to the grocery store alone and get some stuff for dinner. Alone. Okay. Let's do the week. We literally love when the sun is behind the clouds. The clouds are making iconic moves, protecting me. My literal knight in shining armor. And if you're confused as to why I don't like the sun, it's because sun in my eyes is a trigger for my tics. It makes my tics worse. So we love the clouds. Clouds are iconic. Clouds are amazing. Clouds are great. I've got an exciting day planned today, and to be honest, won't be alone much today, but yesterday I was alone for like most of the day. Tyler got back in from the tournament pretty late, but I streamed on Twitch for like 6 hours. Yesterday when I was alone, I feel like my tics were pretty average. I feel like honestly my tics don't change that much when I'm alone, but for other people that's not always the case. And we'll get more into that later. But right now we're about to go have a fun, super fun-filled day. Turns out a lot of places are closed because there's a special event going on today, something called Easter. Yeah.
Well, if you don't mind, I might try to see you later. And mama's gone and the papa's off in Decatur. Well, now you got eyes, and now you should see that I'm lonely. Anyway, I got eyes, and I can see that you're comely.
I don't know about this whole being an adult on Easter thing because I haven't hunted a single egg this year. There's not been a single egg in my possession, and I'm pissed. I'm pissed, personally. Like, sure, I forgot it was Easter, but maybe I wouldn't have forgotten if someone gave me some ding-dong darn diddly eggs to hunt.
I feel like you're talking about me.
Okay, in order to talk about being alone with Tourette syndrome and tics, I feel like we really have to talk about the concept of masking. Masking your tics is not the same as suppression. When you're suppressing your tics, you're trying your darndest not to do them, like, at all. And when you're masking your tics, you're actually doing the tic, but you're trying to make it look like you're doing something else besides the tic. For instance, I have a squatting tic. It was a lot worse when I was younger, by the way. It doesn't happen very much anymore. But the way that I would mask my squatting tic was that I would either like drop something on the ground or pretend that I was like picking something up off the ground when I went down to squat. That's a way to mask a tic. Anyway, the reason that I feel like we have to talk about masking with being alone with tics is because when you're around other people, sometimes you may feel like you need to mask, depending on who those people are. But when you're alone, typically you're not masking. For me, when I'm with Tyler, I'm pointing to him, he's in the other room, I know you cannot see. It kind of feels the same as if I were alone, so I don't mask around Tyler. He's one of those people I don't feel the need to mask around. But growing up in school, there were plenty of people who didn't know I had Tourette's or didn't really understand my Tourette syndrome after I explained it to them. And with those people, I sure as heck masked my tics. I've been trying to, as I've grown older, mask my tics a lot less because I kind of feel like I shouldn't have to mask my tics for anyone. But there are certain instances where masking your tics kind of becomes a requirement. For instance, going to the airport. There may be certain things that are not appropriate to say or do at the airport, and you may have to mask your tics in a way there. I'll also add before this clip ends that masking is not just a thing with Tourette syndrome. Masking is a thing with other neurological disorders, but maybe we can get more into that another time. Anyway, I just ordered some freaking dinner from Uber Eats and I'm about to eat that up, so yeah, cool. Alright, it's almost the weekend, heck yeah. I woke up about like 20 minutes ago alone because Tyler is at a doctor's appointment and some of my tics have been bothering me this morning. And you know, I find myself really wishing that he was here so I could like talk to him. and I don't wish that I could talk to him like about my tics. That's not the thing. Like, I wish I could talk to him about anything else, like to distract me from my tics that are occurring. But with that, you can't always factor other people being around into your self-soothing or like tic reduction plans. Like, you have to find ways to soothe yourself by yourself, and that's what I'll be doing now. So some things that work for me and then some things that work for others that maybe don't work as much for me but I know work for others are like listening to music. I know it depends on what kind of music because sometimes certain music can affect tics in a bad way and not a good way. So just make sure you figure out what kind of music helps your tics and doesn't hinder them. And then there's always grounding techniques to like reduce any anxieties that are bubbling up around your tics increasing that are typically making your tics worse, because it's always a vicious cycle of like getting anxious about your tics being worse and then that anxiety making your tics worse. It's a cycle, folks. It's a cycle. But yeah, just wanted to have that little chat as my tics were being a little annoying to me this morning. And now I'm going to go do a focus-based activity of what nature I am not sure yet until I have to start work. So cool beans. Let's play ball. I don't know where that came from, but heck, we're not playing ball. We're yep, Woo doggy. I just did an eye rolling tic so hard that I saw stars, which you know happens sometimes. But this time I was really on the verge. Like, I felt like I was going to pass out. And I just want to know what it is about eye rolling tics that makes me feel like I'm gonna pass out. Like, what is it about just rolling my eyes that makes me almost lose consciousness? This is a thing I'd like to know. Anyone who knows, please let me know in the comments. Thank you. Oh my god. Woo. Woo. Okay, I know you can say it. I look dapper today. I look really quite dashing. Like, I know it, don't worry, I know. My last point to make about being alone with your tics is that for some people who tic, being alone is actually much better for some people's tics, and sometimes being alone is worse for people's tics, and they actually, like, their tics are reduced when they're around other people. So it's really a person by person experience, and I feel like I say that a lot on this channel. Although people will be experiencing the same tics or like have Tourette syndrome, they're experiencing like different things about it in different ways. Like, not every experience of a disorder is the same experience. I always like to just get that point across. But as the week comes to a close, I have analyzed, I have looked into it, and I think that my tics are pretty much the same when I'm alone as when I'm with other people. But I'd love to hear other people's experiences with their tics and how that goes for them. Go ahead and comment below how it is for you. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Please subscribe and keep advocating for Tourette syndrome, and thanks, Twitches. Bye!